Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League. I'm your host, Mike. With me, as always, is my good friend, Andrew. And this week, we're going to be catching up on 2 weeks, or from 2 weeks of holidays, where we have been away for Christmas, New Year's, getting a little back to health here. Not by much, apparently. Still got a hacky cough, dry. It'll be gone before I go on my trip to Mexico. But it is Wednesday night, January 8th. Andrew, buddy, how you doing?
I've had my cough since like the 23rd.
Okay. That is weird because that is when I got mine.
I know we weren't out.
I got sick. We were not hanging out together, but I got sick, missed Christmas, Boxing Day, the weekend after. I got better right up until New Year's, and I thought I was better, and then it's like, all right, now we're just transitioning slowly from being this head cold to being just a dry cough.
Yeah, the cough has been brutal.
No fun.
Like I've been keeping up everybody at home at nighttime.
Lovely. Well, I haven't spoken to you a lot over the holidays. Have you had a really good time? Did you enjoy it?
Yourself?
I did, for the most part. I didn't get to drink and eat as much as I wanted to. I did stay away from people a lot. Overall, yeah, the holiday was good.
Good.
I might have overindulged on New Year's Eve, though.
Yeah, see, I was driver.
Oh, that was nice of you.
We did we did a bunko night. Yeah.
You did? Yeah, did you
Yes.
Did you play or did you just yeah, okay. How did you do? What were your winnings?
I won my money back for most mini bunkos. Yeah.
Mini bunkos,
And then
okay.
my wife, Ashley cleaned up. I think she won last.
But yeah? She's usually pretty good at cleaning up, by the way.
And most wins. Yeah.
Oh. That's a good pot. For those at home that don't know, this is a dice rolling game you play with friends, usually 12, right? Yeah, 3 tables of 4. You have a winning table, a neutral table, and a losing table. You shuffle around throughout. You're rolling dice until you get
3 of a kind. Yeah.
3 of a kind? Yeah. Yes. You earn points. Everyone chips in some money. There's lots of prizes to give out. Yeah, it's a good time. Lots of fun. Yeah, it is. It's a way to get like a good group of people going, right? It's something the kids can play even. So it helps them work on their math skills. Yeah,
everybody gets very, very competitive with it.
Yeah, it helps when you have competitive friends. Yeah.
It's always good
fun.
Times. Yeah, it's never been an uneventful night. It's always been good and fun.
All right. Well, last we spoke, we were heading into the final of our league championship. We knew it was going to be an epic battle for the ages. Marvin trying to climb back on top, and Mike, me, trying to get my first league win. And folks, I know many of you have just been waiting for this moment where we can reveal who the ultimate champion is. And for that, I bring to you the 2024 league champion is me, baby. Yeah. Oh, it feels good to be a winner.
You've won leagues before, though.
You've
won leagues before.
Pardon?
Though. True.
Not this one. I've won other leagues. Actually, this year was a good year. I won here, Poor Man, home league, feeling good. I won the No Fun League, which has been something I've been battling for a while. And I'm going to paint a picture here. The No Fun League, I came in as the 6th seed, battled my way through to the final matchup. I got put up on with Joe Burrow and 42 odd points on the opening night, and I don't have a quarterback to play. I pick Mason Rudolph up off the waiver wire, and I win a championship with Mason Rudolph, beating Gabriel. Gabriel, little baby sheep man. Whoo! Oh, how does it feel to lose to Mason Rudolph? Yeah.
Oh, don't rub it in too bad that he might come back and beat your ass next year.
Yeah, well, he's probably going to hurt me next year in Poor Man. And then Crazy Man repeated as champion there, which is great because that's a good money payout. I don't have to pay for league fees like ever again, like ever. I think for like 10 years I'm covered for league fees now.
It was a good year for you.
It was good. It was fun. Fortunately, I did knock you out in the Crazy Man, right? You made it to the final. It was a relatively close battle. It wasn't like how I slaughtered Marvin.
Yeah, no, it was close. It
in this
was,
league. Yeah, it was close.
I think you needed, pardon me, I needed, sorry, like 30 points going into the final night. I think I got like 20 of the 30 that I needed. So it was relatively close. So I think like all weekend long it was going back and forth for who was.
It wasn't like one guy had a massive landslide. It was relatively close, which means your team is good. And what concerns me, it was nice that I won this year, getting that payout, but I mortgaged my
Yeah,
future.
in that one, yeah.
And now my players are getting older, and I got to ride the Lamar Jackson wave because I ain't got a lot left to in the tank.
Not
I
with him,
think
no.
next year is going to be a rough
Yeah.
year, man.
For me, I'm on
You're still
scroll
young.
in. I'm just waiting for it to load. Um, I think in one league, I've got two firsts, 3 seconds, a third, a fourth, a fifth. In another league, I've got two firsts, a second, five thirds, and a fifth.
That's
Yes.
half a round of third round
Yes.
picks. Okay.
So anybody that's kind of looking for maybe a quarterback or a tight end, I mean, we can always talk closer to the draft.
Wait. What league are we
I
talking about? Because I'm
I'm
low on assets.
my sleeper app is taking forever to load here. Let me just move my camera for a little bit here. There we go. So in no fun, I have no fun. I've got two firsts, 3 seconds, two thirds, and a fifth. So what? 2, 4, 6, 8 picks. Crazy. I've just got a first, a second, third, fourth, fifth. Simple. I've just got my first, second, third, fifth, and then in poor man, yeah, in poor man, I've got two firsts, 2 seconds, 3, 4, 5 thirds, and a fifth. And my picks are like 103, 101, 208, 201, 301, 303, 38, 39, 310, and 501. So I got lots of good young guys coming to my teams. Hopefully,
All
I
right.
could have an all rookie starting lineup pretty much in that one league. 10 guys.
Yeah, the only league I have any number of picks in is no fun,
Okay.
and they're all fourth rounders.
Yeah, realistically, in poor men, I could run a whole rookie starting lineup.
That is a lot of. Oh, I will. Well, I look forward to seeing how you play that out. If you move whatever assets you move, if any, leading up to the draft, because that is one of the milestones we get to look forward to in the offseason. Right now that the season, our fantasy football season is over, we look away from, we take the break from, and we look to real football. Right, we've got wild card weekend this weekend. We got Super Bowl coming up. We're gonna have pro days for a lot of these kids coming up out of college. We're gonna have the draft day. There'll be a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to look forward to. But there is some other football news we need to talk about. First things first, Tyreek Hill. I guess he wants out of Miami bad. He's made some weird posts online, and it's no secret that he wants to move on. He wants to go play for a team that can win. Doesn't think Miami is that team right now. And I didn't know this, but their coach Mike McDaniel was on the hot seat, and they decided to retain him. I'm like,
Yeah.
that was surprising. I didn't think he
No,
was a
he's
bad
not.
coach.
He's just that team. The last 2 years, I think I even put it in comments or a text to you or something like that. That they have turned into the San Diego Chargers. Now that San Diego's moved out of San Diego, they have become the San Diego Chargers of the league. Their season starts off strong, and then injuries hit them, and they end up missing the playoffs because of it.
To me, the Miami Dolphins are a healthy quarterback away from being consistently good. When Tua is there and healthy,
I did.
they do well. When Tua is not there, because he is fragile and he's a big risk of concussions, they don't have a backup. They can't perform without it. Like the players just can't live up to without having a quarterback that can carry them. So I honestly don't think Tua is going to be long for this league,
No.
and
But
for
the
that
other thing
team.
is, though, like you look at Tyreek Hill, the last 2 years has missed time playing. Jalen Waddle,
Mm-hmm.
last 2 years, missed time playing because of injury. Achane and Mostert, both have missed time due to injury. So 4 of your key offensive players, which are the 85% of that team's offense, misses time due to injuries. And we're not even talking about We're like, that's on top of the quarterback missing time. So I, I don't put it all on Tua, because he's been hurt, they've been gone. Um, I just, I, I think they need to move on from maybe Waddle and Mostert or Hill and Mostert and pick up a couple of younger guys and a quarterback and a quarterback that's not gonna break his head. I'm starting to feel sorry for Tua when he's 40 or 50. He's gonna sound like Muhammad Ali, like some.
You
No,
don't want to
no,
see that.
but he's had so many concussions. He's like up there like 7 or 8 concussions. His motor skills aren't going to be the same when he gets older, I don't think.
All right. Other news: head coaches. This is the time of year that teams typically get rid of their head coaches, their general managers, their OCs, their DCs as needed. Here's the big ones that we know of. Recently, the Patriots fired head coach Jared Mayo. Jacksonville Jaguars fired head coach Doug Peterson. Las Vegas fired their head coach, something Pierce. Head coach Antonio Pierce. Yeah, they let him go. A couple other teams let go of some coordinators. So there's some guys out there. Interviews have already been conducted by a couple of these teams, but those that in the playoffs, they have to wait for breaks or to be eliminated to actually
Well, and they
conduct
even have
these
to ask
interviews.
permission.
They do actually. You know what? Who was it? Mike McCarthy, boys. Right? Is that am I correct? I'm not seeing that on here, but I saw that earlier today. That one team denied anybody talking to Mike McCarthy. Which, like, oh, okay, so maybe they are going to retain him as their head coach. I haven't heard,
That's
but
another one that I think what's going to happen there is um, it's going to be a wait to see what happens with Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, I
at
think
the
Deion
draft,
Sanders is going to make the jump to the NFL. Wherever his kid goes, it's going to be a package deal. If Dallas can't get him, they'll keep McCarthy. If Dallas can't get them, or sorry, if Dallas can't get the first overall pick and get Shadeur, um, then McCarthy will be gone. If they can't get that first pick through trading because they blew it by winning there at the end, um,
they
um,
did. Yep.
then McCarthy's job will get saved for another year.
It would be a big spend, I think, to go up and get the first overall pick, which is currently sitting with the Tennessee Titans, a team that is in need. They're going to retain, just to let me confirm here, Tennessee. They kept their head coach. Yeah, Tennessee, who owns the top pick, 25 draft, are heading into year 2 with head coach Brian Callahan. They're keeping him. The Titans are expected to find a new quarterback, but now need a new general manager after firing Ran Carthon.
Yeah, which it seems weird. Why did
So
they
they're
get
looking
rid of
for a new
him
general manager.
as opposed to the coach? But
So if Shedeur Sanders is the number one quarterback on the board and the Tennessee Titans are the organization that is not looking for a head coach, what kind of a scenario sits in play right now for that pairing, right? Are we going to have another Drew Brees? Was it Philip
yeah,
Rivers
and
and
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning? Yeah.
I don't know. The Titans could turn around and say, you know what? I'm going to take uh, the DB out of Colorado. Hunter, yeah.
That Hunter? Tim Hunter?
He won the Heisman. They may say, okay, I'll take him, and then in the second round, move and then take the quarterback there.
Oh, wow. Do you know Will Johnson's the number 2 ranked player in the draft right now? No way. He is. Michigan's Will Johnson's currently ranked number 2 overall in the entire draft.
I can see it.
Travis Hunter's
Yes.
ranked number 1. Cam Ward out of Miami is the number 1 quarterback currently ranked.
Yeah.
He Miami, Florida. Yeah. He's a senior. The second, and Shedeur Sanders is ranked 10th overall
So you
as the
could even
second quarterback.
see Tennessee maybe taking that.
Yeah, taking Cam Ward. You know what? Let me just do the entire quarterback list here and see. All right, so Cam Ward, number 1, ranked 4th overall. Shedeur Sanders, ranked 10th overall.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe,
Yep.
Alabama, ranked 32. Then Quinn Ewers, formerly of Ohio State, now with Texas, is ranked 53. Carson Beck, 55, and then it falls off a big.
Yeah, it's not a
ranking
strong
cliff.
quarterback draft.
No,
and the guy from
no.
Alabama moves up even further because of the loss to Michigan.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, there's a. All right. Well, you know what? I do look forward to starting to listen in on these players' rankings. Our good friend and my co-manager, Evan.
He does a really good job. Well,
does a wonderful little analysis how he closely pays attention to. So if you guys ever get a chance and listen to him over on his podcast, good stuff. If you want to get into some rookie analysis, yeah. Okay, so that's the coaching news. Looking forward to prospecting some of these college players. Interesting scenarios, how things could play out based upon coaching hires and how they're going to pursue the draft.
Yep.
Until then, we do have Wildcard Weekend. It's happening this weekend. It's kicking things off. And what I would like to do with you, Andrew, if you'd like to play with me, is do a quick little bracket.
Keep it civil.
Hey, you interpreted that as you will, buddy. I would like to do our own little bracket here. Pick the winners of each of these matchups and see who makes it into the next round. And then keep doing that as we progress our way all the way to the Super Bowl, where we're going to watch my Lions win it live at the Boston Pizza in the Hamptons.
I'm sorry. Did you
crazy.
read my comments on the bet?
No, I have not.
Like maybe it's like the third last sentence.
Lions 49-9. Your score would be 40.
If you were to pick the Chiefs versus the Lions, and the Chiefs destroy the Lions 49-9.
Yeah, your score would be 40.
So
you would have a wee tiny little number like 2 or 3 versus a big number like 40. Good luck. The next few weeks will determine our season-long battle. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's take care of this, and then we'll go look at our bet. My goodness.
That's my prediction, 49-9.
Your prediction is
a whooping.
I'm hating the Chiefs because of just how crappy their season was, but I do recognize, as a longtime hockey fan, some teams just need to make the playoffs, and as soon as they make the playoffs, something clicks inside them. And yeah, like you saw that last game. They rolled over for the Broncos, but the game before that,
Kelsey had a huge game.
They played. Yeah, yes. They played. So
they started pulling out the old trick plays again. They started doing some of that funky stuff that they do, and they looked scary. And
so don't discount Kansas City is the long and short of it here. All right, now I do want to play the weird game. I've got the bracket up here. Matchup number 1 we're going to talk about is Minnesota versus the Rams. Now, this is a game that happened earlier on in the season between these two teams. Minnesota came out on top. There was some serious talk, depending on how that game played out, of whether Sam Darnold would stay with Minnesota or be traded to the Rams. Now, the Rams barely made the playoffs. They locked it in, but they didn't make that change. But there was a lot of conversations about this happening. Now, obviously, Minnesota is still rolling, and they're going to keep rolling. I don't know. I want to say it makes the most sense that Minnesota wins, just knowing how they're able to play. but I don't ever want to discount the offensive power that the Rams can be. Now they're at home, but there are the crazy Los Angeles wildfires that are happening around the city of Los Angeles. And there are contingency plans to move this game to another facility on Monday, if need be, if the wildfires aren't, if it's not safe. So knowing that in a dome, who do you want to pick here between these two?
They're both dome teams.
Pardon? Yep. But I don't know what the contingencies are. Let's say they move to they're going to move to San Fran
or San Diego and play in the
right? San Diego, or they go somewhere else to play because. All right. I want to say Matt Stafford crushes the Minnesota Vikings, but I think the teams are too close. Like, it is apparently Vegas sees it as a 1.5 lead by Minnesota.
Okay.
Very close.
I thought there was a bigger gap than that I thought Minnesota was going to be favored more than that, but I'm actually picking the Rams on this one. Yes.
You are picking the Rams. Okay. Let me see. The Rams. Oh, it's now moved. The line is moved to 1. Minnesota by 1.
It's a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I'm picking the Rams on this one. And then you're going to have a Stafford.
I was hoping you'd go Minnesota.
And you're going to have a Ram Lion.
Okay, so here's what I don't want in the next round. If Minnesota wins, my predictions for the next couple matches are like, well, the Lions have to play the lowest seed. If the lowest seed is Minnesota, then they got to repeat that.
It won't be
that game from. Oh, yeah. So that alone, you know what? I want the Rams to win this. I want the season for Minnesota to be done. But I got to say Minnesota here. I think Minnesota comes out with a vengeance.
The only thing that to me, and I think both you and I might go a little bit nuts if it were to happen. What's his face quarterback there? Darnold doesn't produce.
Sam Darnold, yeah. Again, under pressure.
What happens?
Prime time.
Throw in JJ McCarthy, and they come back to win.
Oh, wow. Okay, so JJ McCarthy hasn't been officially activated. They've opened up his IR window.
He's got 21 days to.
They did
to play.
Right, they have 21 days to do it. Daniel Jones has been activated and is now officially on the roster.
Wow.
They activated him from whatever he was sitting, so now he's on the active roster.
That could change between now and Sunday.
Right, but that would be wild if they bring in JJ McCarthy to get the win. Sam Darnold goes down.
Not even goes down. If they
oh, man,
I would say, like, if they're down by like 21 points, that's a half. Mm-hmm. McCarthy goes in and plays the second half.
Okay, you're swaying me here. I am going to go the Rams, and here's why I'm going to go the Rams now. A thought occurred to me. Matt Stafford and this team have been through all of this before. Yep. They've won a Super Bowl. They're playoff ready. There's a lot of guys here that can make stuff happen. Sam Darnold's never been here, right? Like, this is a team that wasn't expected to get more than 6 wins, and here they are at 14-2.
Yep.
14-3, sorry. And now they got to come into this house. I think the experience of the Rams, especially if you watched how the Lions beat and you were able to replicate that in some fashion. Yeah, I do want to go Rams here. I'm going to do it. Done. Next matchup, Washington versus Tampa Bay.
I would think Washington
here's the line.
Would be the favorite in this game.
They're not. Tampa Bay is by 3.
I don't see it. I think Washington's the better team. And I got Washington in this one.
Okay. I'm still picking. I think Washington's is going to be a devastating team next year with what they were able to do this year with what they have. They're just going to build on it. I just don't think they get past Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has an unnatural ability to play to the level of their opponent. If their opponent sucks, Tampa Bay sucks. If their opponent is good, they rise to the level of their opponent. That said, because they beat the Lions early in the year and the games that they've lost, Tampa Bay has lost. Like, you nearly lost to the Saints, the Spencer Rattler Saints, which is why I believe they have the unnatural ability to play to the level of their opponent. So if their opponent sucks, they suck. In this case, their opponent's a good team, which means that team is going to rise up and fight. So I'm going to pick Tampa Bay here. You're going Washington on the hot streak, riding the Jaden Daniels, future #1 QB in football. Now let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and Philly. Is it even a question?
No, it's
no,
especially
right?
with
It's Philly all the way.
Week.
Christian Watson out with a torn ACL.
Green Bay's done, and I think Green Bay may be done for a couple of years now. I think the magic of because
you think so?
Watson, one of their top wide receivers, he's been hurt more than he's played the last few years. Jordan Love's been getting hurt quite a bit the last few years. Wouldn't it be crazy if Aaron Rodgers was back there? That'd be nuts.
No, just don't play football anymore.
No, I think Philly is going to steamroll, and then Philly gets LA.
So in your scenario, Philly gets the Rams, and
then the Lions get
gross. Lions get Washington. Out of those three teams, I'd rather play I'd rather play the Rams.
Oh no! For the Lions will walk all over Washington. Yes.
Do you think the Rams will walk all over?
And then I think Philly is going to walk all over LA. And then Philly Detroit is going to be a tough game.
Detroit, that's what you're seeing. Okay, well let's do the other side. Let's do the AFC side. First matchup we got here is the Chargers versus Houston. Now I'm going Harbaugh
me too.
On this one. Yeah, I think the way things have gone for them, and that just the way he coaches, and the way things have turned sour for Houston. Inconsistent, yeah, like unreliable. They just, I don't know. Like, I love Houston, right?
Well, don't get me wrong. I think CJ Stroud could be a good long-term quarterback. He's just having a down year.
Yeah. Is he suffering from the Ohio State curse? The Ohio State curse is real, folks. It could be. Yeah, it is wild to think. So to me, that's not much of an upset. What does Vegas got the line at here for those guys? Chargers by 3.
Like, the division winner isn't the favorite in this, which is a sad scenario.
Yeah.
Here's the upset.
All right. Okay, Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Right? Yeah. Are you okay? I'm feeling a Pittsburgh upset. Do you know what Vegas has got this game at? No, 9.5 Ravens.
No, I think Pittsburgh's defense will shut down
Henry and
Lamar. They'll shut down that running game. And I think Pittsburgh's offense, their wide receivers, and that running game with Warren and Harris is just a little bit better. And it's going to be close, but I think it's going to be the upset. And depending on the weather,
I'm torn.
The U.S. is supposed to get hit with some crappy weather this weekend.
What? Let's have a look at this game.
I think crappy weather favors Pittsburgh even more.
I'm not seeing anything on this particular loadout. Let's just go weather conditions. Because if it's an outdoor game, which I suspect it is, right? Because both of those stadiums are open. Weather conditions, Baltimore versus Pitt. All right. Yahoo's got me covered here. Baltimore weather forecast, Steelers, Ravens, temps for NFL wildcard. High 20s.
Cold.
With a feels like temperature of 23 degrees due to a light west-northwest breeze at 5 to 10 notches. Snow games are pretty fun to watch, but not so much to play in. The Pittsburgh Steelers will likely avoid the brunt of the winter storm that caused snow and icy conditions across Baltimore this week. Oh, okay. So miss the storm, come in at the tail end.
Cold. So
still going to be cold. Both teams could be good running teams.
Yep.
All right. So you want to go Pitt on this one. I think I'll split with you. I'll go Baltimore. Because I think the next one's we're going to be unanimous. We're both Buffalo on this?
Closer than people think.
Okay. You think Denver's going to hang? and keep it close. Bo Nix is legit.
Yes.
Okay. This one has an 8.5 point
I'm going to
differential.
say probably a field goal.
Buffalo. Wow, okay. I think that would be a great showing for Sean Payton and Bo Nix. If they hang tough with Buffalo and keep this game
What
close.
scares the hell out of me? What
It's
does
just
scare the hell out of me? No,
is the weather in Buffalo.
if Denver beats Buffalo and then walks into Kansas City after beating Kansas City last week, that moment,
Well, that was Carson
I
Wentz. It wasn't the same.
know, but still, you walk in with that attitude of, I just destroyed you. I don't care if it was your third player.
I just destroyed you. I destroyed your number one
Yes,
competitor. I'm
that
coming to
too.
get you.
I
That's
beat
fun.
you, and then I
That is
beat
the
number
fun part
two,
of this.
and now I'm coming back after you again.
It's like you guys didn't want me here, but you
Exactly.
let me in.
Exactly. Again, Denver could have been sitting there saying, we'll be walking in to say, you shouldn't have sat your players. You should have kicked us out of the playoffs and let Miami or Cincinnati in, but you let us go to the Super Bowl. If they get
Oh
past
my
Buffalo
goodness.
and they get past Kansas City, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, that's
Not
2
even
games.
three. They would have to beat.
No. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm thinking like you get past Buffalo, you get past Kansas City. Who's left? But yeah, okay. Because if that happens, that would be Kansas City versus Denver, and let's just say that would be the Chargers versus either Pitt
Baltimore. And then
Baltimore.
Denver would would play the winner of the Chargers.
The Chargers in Baltimore. Wow.
So they would have a good shot at going to the Super Bowl.
Wild. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's going to make for some great football. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Should be a good time. All right. So my predictions, I got the Rams, the Bucks, the Eagles, the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Buffalo Bills. You've got the Rams, the Commanders, Philly, the Chargers, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo. Gonna be fun, man. Gonna be fun.
So here's the caveat to our bet. If somehow it's a tie, but I can't see that. I can't actually be.
Okay.
I can't see it being a tie. Whoever has a better record in this,
all right,
will be the tiebreaker.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll use that as a tiebreaker. Before we get to our bet, though, we've got some league news. Now that the season is over, we open it up for proposed changes. Little baby Sheetman, aka Gabriel, he has proposed 2 changes. The first change is to change the payout. So instead of paying first, second, and the winner of the consolation bracket, he just says, can we just pay the first and second base player?
Yeah.
Yep, fair enough. So we're going to put that to a league vote. We'll vote on that at some point during the offseason. Second proposal he made is he wants to change the way we distribute and assign draft picks. Right now, if you make the playoffs, the 4 teams make the playoffs, their playoff pick or their draft picks are determined based upon their finish. The remaining 6 team managers, their draft picks are based upon maximum points for. So Gabriel's proposing that we take out the first and second place teams and just have them finished 110 and 109, and throw the teams that didn't make it past the first round back into the pool of everybody else for the max points for. And the scenario what that paints is last year, when Donnie won the championship, he did it, but would have received the 102 pick 102 based upon his max points for.
Yeah.
So if he was eliminated in the first round, his team, which suffered a little bit this year because he was very successful in the opportunities given to him last year, that in this year, it did not play out the same way, and his team is now going to get an early draft pick. So in that particular scenario, had he been eliminated in round 1, he still would have received the 102 pick, which would have made his team theoretically stronger for this year. So that's the proposal.
Necessarily opposed to it. I mean, that's not a huge change. Some guys might move 1 or 2 spots in the draft.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I like the idea that if you make the playoffs, your draft pick is dependent upon how you finish in the playoffs. Reward you or penalize you, so to speak, for making it. Right? That's the goal. We're trying to make the playoffs, trying to win a championship. Donnie, he did it. He lucked out for the most part until the last week where his team showed up and like balled out to win that championship. Whereas, you know, I can see it from both sides. I just like the side that we currently have it on.
Yeah, you're right. I see it on both sides too. Really, it's I don't think we would really see very many years of a Donnie running from last up to making the
Last,
playoffs and going to even losing in the first round, but then jumping back because his points max were so low that he ends up with a 1 or 2 pick. Like if you're making the playoffs, you're probably not in the top 3 of draft pick anyway.
that's definitely a possibility.
I see it for both sides, and I would just have to sit back and listen to both of you guys' arguments for your pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you mine. Like it's just
If you make the playoffs,
it's 6 one half
if
dozen
you
of
make the
another. It
playoffs, you
doesn't
should be in the bottom 4 picks.
should be.
So that guys that didn't make the playoffs have that opportunity to improve their team a little bit better, I guess. Yeah,
To be more competitive for the following year. Yeah, and we'll put it up. It'll go up to a league vote. Everyone will get a chance to vote on it, and then before the new year or before the new season starts, we'll have that. Speaking of the beginning of the new season, something else I want to remind everybody: as league champion, I have been bestowed with the privilege with naming and bestowing a picture to the person who's in last place. And by the way, I'd like to point out that my friend and co-host Andrew happens to be that man in last place. The off season should be fun with the things that we get up to, the names we could come up with, and the pictures that will come as a result of the name.
I might not be drinking so much at the Super Bowl this year, so
as a result, no, man, don't just enjoy.
I have to work the next day this year. Well, because it's
do you?
I'll get back from Phoenix on the Tuesday. The Super Bowl should be the Sunday, so I will have been drinking for 2.5 weeks.
Oh, you're detoxing? Well, I'm getting trash. I already took the day off. I'm not going to work.
But anyhow.
Well, you know what? It's near the end of the show. Let's get this thing rolling. It is time to place some bets. All right. Officially, we are tied 8-8. We have a tie-breaking solution here. I have not completely seen it or understand it.
Okay,
Andrew,
so
hit us up with it.
One. Most of the wild card games are looking to be relatively close matchups. So of the 6 games this weekend, we will pick 2 of them each. And you want games that are going to be close scoring games. Doesn't matter who wins. You're not picking a winner or whatever. Who cares who wins? But you want a close scoring game. As the point differential in the game is your score. So again, I use the scenario like I mentioned earlier. So if I was to pick the Chiefs versus the Lions, and the Chiefs destroy the Lions 49-4, the score would be 40 points for that person. Or vice versa, if you pick Cincinnati versus Miami and it was 29-27, that person would get 2 points.
All right. So you want the lowest differential score. All right. Lowest differential score. Got it.
The score could be 51-50. It could be,
That's a 1 point differential. You want that.
You can put up 1,000
you're
points,
so in this case, you're just picking the game to be close. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to each pick 2.
See how I was the loser last time. I guess that means I have to pick.
Yep. You got to pick first.
I'm going to pick the LA Minnesota game.
That's a good
I think that's going to be a close game.
Okay, so Andrew goes Minnesota versus the Rams. That's a good game. I wanted that game. The game I'm going to pick, though, I'm going to go the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. Los Angeles does not put up a lot of points, and they grind out on their defense. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring, closer game.
And for almost the exact same reasons, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. Pittsburgh's defense is going to be a grinding game. It's going to be a close one. I think, you know what? Your rankings might even be the score, 6-3.
Wow. Okay. I got to go Washington versus Tampa Bay then.
You don't have to, but
I do. Yeah, I think both of these teams are high-powered offenses. I think they deliver the game we expected from my Minnesota and Detroit last week. I think they come out here scoring, and it comes down to who has possession last, drives the field, and gets that last touchdown, that last field goal. I think, to me, that's how this game is probably going to end. I'm very leery of the Philadelphia and Packers game with Justin Fields not Justin Fields.
Jordan Love?
Jalen Hurts still not cleared from concussion protocol. It might be a Kenny Pickett game.
Yeah, but I think just their defense is solid, and Devonta Smith and
Kenny Pickett can make it work. Saquon Barkley, right? So in this case, I think one of two things happens. It's Kenny Pickett and the game's closer, but they still win. It's Jalen Hurts and they get up and they pull Jalen Hurts for Kenny Pickett and they still win. Right? That's kind of like what I'm thinking here, but I don't think it's a scenario where the game is close enough, which only leaves the Broncos and Bills, and I think the Bills want to stomp a mud hole in those Broncos and see which Cowboy's the best.
I think you're right. Like, it could be a big blowout, or it's going to be an upset.
It could be a weird upset.
You're right. It could be
wild.
It could be like
so
a 50
wild if it happened.
Game, though. So,
Yep. All right, well, folks, I apologize for the coughing and hacking. Thank you for bearing with me. That's it for this week's episode. I do want to thank you guys all for hanging out, participating in playing football with us this year, chiming in when you can. We're going to be doing some off-season prep, bringing people back in as special guests. We're going to be doing our year-end review with a couple guys. We're going to be doing our divisional breakdown review that we did over the summer, where we look at our predictions that we made and see how terrible they were. Then we're going to do our league award show. We're going to bring back our friend Josh, a.k.a. the Multi-Beast, to come back on the show. And then we're going to be looking forward to doing some Super Bowl aftermath. So as we progress to the Super Bowl, making our predictions, and then talking about how it ended. And that's really going to cap off the end of the year for us as we get ready for our next season. So thank you for sticking with us. That's it for this week. Come back next week as we figure this thing out one more time. Making some more predictions, seeing how the wildcard weekends plays out. You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, now called X, Facebook, YouTube, Poor Man Football, all one word. From one poor man to another. Remember, if it's not fun, it is not worth doing. Good night, everybody.